Hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Farm Sim 17. Now, as opposed to a regular episode from our farm, I am here in fact, well, somewhere else, and where isn't really important. What is important is one of my longtime viewers, Ronnie Van, brought up a very valid point in the comments yesterday, and that is that he believes that the MR mod in fact only applies to in-game equipment. So, first of all, thank you very much for the comment. Second, my God, you're brave. You actually read through that entire wall of Google translated text that was Dural's explanation of the mod. I did too, in fact 3 times, and after the third reading, I've got to admit, I kind of think you're right, buddy, that perhaps because Dural makes mention several times of MR and non-MR vehicles, however he also outright states that vehicles don't have to be, you don't need vehicle or map packages, because you remember the original MR, a map had to be MR ready, vehicles had to be MR ready, etc. Now that's no longer the case. So, although I do agree with you, sir, one point that I have that I really can't decipher from Dural's stuff, this Steyr 4095 Multi is a stock in-game tractor. Now, since I have the MR mod installed, it should be doing everything MR-ish. This, however, and this is a tractor we were using on the farm and was probably the point of contention to begin with, is not an in-game tractor. This is, in fact, a mod. So, the thing is, if you really read everything Dural put in, you should see that, well, this one shouldn't work. But at the same time, oh, neat. I also think that anything that is in mods, the actual Giants mod hub, as a full mod, not a beta one, nothing like that, but an approved mod, would have to be at least basically scripted identically to those guys. So I would think the MR would affect them too, and I'm pretty sure from the way the engine braking and stuff seemed so radically different that this tractor was in fact responding. However, assuming blah 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 has never done anyone that much good. So what I propose we do in fact here is a little bit of experimentation. Now I have these 2 tractors because, at least as far as what I have installed for mods that I pulled off the hub, they should be close enough in horsepower that it'll be a fair comparison. This little Steyr is 99 horse, whereas the little Dutes is 95 horse, and that was really about the closest we could go. Even with the engine upgrade for this guy, that would pop it way over the top. So, and that one doesn't have a bigger. So there you go. But that's okay. That is okay. Let's get you attached. Lovely. Now, so what I propose we do is find the fail point, basically, on both of these vehicles. I.e., we're going to try and task them. Task me, as the infamous Khan said. And we are going to try and task them hard enough to failure. I.e., whatever it is the MR mod wants to do to show you that you have exceeded your limits greatly. That's the point we want to find. So, this particular cultivator, if we has a look, I picked because, well, here's the stock game one. It actually requires a 120 horse tractor. So I thought, yeah. This one requires 90. So I'm thinking it shouldn't take too much more. It's kind of right at the cutting edge of what these guys should be doing. So if we can find a place where you know, we can strain that just a little more yet, I think we'll be good to go. Yeah, I don't think you have any sort of PTO. So, there we go. We now have some, well, hopefully valid test subjects. So, let's start by, tell you what, let's start by making this process real easy. We're going to, yeah, I don't care about any of that. This. Click. There we go. We're just going to turn that off. You know, just excuse me. Oh, that's going to hurt, baby. That almost seem a little floppy to you. I don't know. Yeah. Alright, we're going to head over towards the farm. Oh. Geez, it just occurred to me, you know. Oh no, okay. I've played nothing but remakes of this since the original was released, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure that on the original the farm was indeed where it was most of the rest of the releases, and apparently that is the case. Now, we could certainly buy any of these if we wanted to. What I'd like, though, is something with a little bit of, you know, ground swell to it, as opposed to these perfectly flat peanuts we've got going on here. Think. Well, it's not exactly extreme, but let's see how we do here, shall we? Let's just for the heck of it. Oh, and by the way, there isn't a plow in the game that is small enough for either of these tractors to pull. Because, yeah, obviously that would have been really, really simple, right? So, let's see how we do here. If this is going to be enough of a grunt. Alright. I'm just going to turn my tractor volume up a little bit. Alright, it doesn't seem to have much issue with that. No, not much issue there. I wonder if we actually have anything that would be a little steeper. Alright, so it managed a good 8 to 10 kilometers an hour through that. See if we can find our way back to this guy. Because it may come to just a downright weight contest to see what's going on. Okay, definitely has the slow start like you would expect. That was one of the things the MR mod was supposed to improve, was no more rocket launches. You know, where you couldn't inch forward because the thing wants to jump 60 feet. Alright, let's get up to full toad here and let go. Absolutely nothing. It's still accelerating down the hill. Yeah, I'm not giving any gas. I'm not touching the keys at all. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Now, I have no doubt empty that neither tractor would have much of an issue pulling this particular trailer. I was hoping, though, that I did buy one large enough that if we put a good slop of grain into it, that it may start to show us some difficulties. So, let's start. It's definitely a different sort of acceleration and braking going on as far as the, you know, if you listen to the way the tractor torques and when it backs off the torque and that sort of thing. It's very distinctly different. Although, unfortunately, this is not a tractor I run a lot. And I know he made a lot of mention of a lot of things that I really didn't get a good glean of, to do with the difference between, you know, the constant velocity transmission tractors and the standard transmission tractors, of which it would of course make sense that there is a difference. Alright, so he's filling us up with wheat, and a fair bit too, which is great. So I was hoping we'd have something we could throw a good chunk of. Now, I'm going to go up and see how much more we can get into this trailer. Yeah, this is definitely going to put a strain on them. Let's see if we can't get some good weight going on here. Alright, there's 18,000 liters. Again, these are small tractors in the scheme of things. So this should be a pretty good load for one of these guys. Yeah, again, it shows absolutely no engine braking at all. It's basically just a runaway train when you get them on a hill. Ooh. You'll see there too, eh? It's showing it's almost uncontrollable here so far as the turning goes. Huh. Even with a 1,000-pound weight. Let's see how we do coming up here. Alright. Looks like it's going to be able to make this. We are right at the limits, and you can see the RPMs are really high. Wait, 1 liter per hour of fuel? Really? This thing's that efficient? I think maybe it screws up the fuel thing there. Okay, so it made it up that. Fair enough. Going to try one more little hill here. See how it does. Of course, we certainly like to start at pretty much 0. Okay, I get a feeling this one will do it. This should reach a point that we can't pull it up the hill. Well, 4 kilometers an hour. It looks like it's still going to make it, but it's definitely pretty weak. Alright. And as I say, you can really tell that the steering is pretty much shot, especially when you start trying to go downhill. So, let's see what happens. Oh, oopsie. Do-do-do-do. All right. Alright, let's see how this guy does coming up here. Again, he's 5 more horse. Alright. Than that other tractor. So if it has a real struggle getting up here, then we know that not everything is quite as it should be. Huh. Alright. So he's not really showing any slowdown at all. Okay, so he showed even less than what the Deutz did. I mean, he only varied within a couple of kilometers from start to finish. Might have been a little slower though. Okay. Let's see how this guy does with the trailer. We know he's capable of pulling it from a stock. See how he does down the hill. Does he start to feel kind of weird? Not really. And he has full-on engine braking. Which again, that's really quite a difference. As I said, the other one was no. If you were downhill, you were just a runaway train. So this, in fact, is feeling much, much more like a standard non-MR kind of a deal. Oh, interesting. Yeah, almost no effort at all to get up there. And again, this is 5 horse lighter. Same weight on the front. Alright, let's get over here. Yeah, again, not quite as much of an effect at all. So, I'm thinking, Ronnie, my friend, you are pretty much absolutely right. It would appear that there is quite a difference. Now, there is one more thing that I'm going to do, and that is buy one more tractor, select, because we do have another in this exact horsepower range, and that would be the little New Holland, the littlest of the littles. As we can see, that is also 99 horse, exactly the same as that. That's 102, 125, 110, so they all go up from there, but we do have this, so let's select that. We're going to go completely standard, that's fine. Yes. Okay, now we're also, I said, even the smallest plow requires 100 horse. So we're going to grab that. We're going to buy it. Yes. Okay. And we're also buy a 1,000-pound weight. Okay. And let's go there. So, here we are. Now, by rights, none of these. Okay. Right away. And the difference, there's that revving before it slows down, almost like there's no engine brake at all. It just goes into a neutral position. So this tractor is handling almost exactly the same as the Steyr did so far. Now, I mean, that's not much. All I've done is drive it 3 feet. I'll give you that. So, okay. Alright. Alright. Oh, I guess we need to raise that, don't we? Okie dokie then. I'm sure that'll scare the people on the highway a little less, won't it? Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, well, you're lost. Alright, let's try the same thing here. Let's just take our finger off the accelerator. Alright. We're coasting, coasting, coasting. Oh, we're losing a little speed, but then I don't think we've got quite as much weight behind us. Okay, now we're finally starting to slow down on the flats. Yeah, there's a distinct difference for sure between what the straight-up game vehicles do and what the even ones that are approved as, you know, mods to go onto the mod hub, which, although again, maybe that's all based on an assumption that perhaps Giants is doing some form of a filtering, you know, to make that distinction between what will and what will not, you know, go on a beta list as opposed to, yep, here you go, install it. You know, and how much conflict testing do they do, which is, of course, really the important thing, I think. But, back tire doesn't do much. Oh, I guess it's actually just spinning at a multiple of the refresh rate, so it doesn't look like it's spinning. The old wagon wheel on TV thing. Alright. again, almost no braking. So, let's see what happens with a plow, shall we? There we go. Alright, obviously this is a struggle. Now, is it traction we're losing? At this point, to a degree, yes. You can see we are actually losing traction. But this is, you can also see, a four-wheel drive tractor. And... well, it doesn't really look, again, it doesn't look like we're going to reach a point where we just can't do it. But yeah, it really completely bongos my fuel usage thing. Because this is also showing 0.1 liter per hour. Yeah. Still manages, even from a dead stop, to at least get it going. Alright, interesting. Now, let's come over here, wangle the little puppy off. That's... see how you do, fella. Oh, you're still attached to that, are you? Okay. How about if we just pull this over here out of the ways? Just to get it out of the way. Yeah. Yep, you are definitely right, Mr. Van. At least as far as this particular tractor goes, you are definitely right. This one is not behaving the same way as the in-game tractors are any longer. And yeah, it is acting far more like what you would expect a unmodified game to work. So, let's see how you do with that, shall we? You are in the ground? Oh, yeah. And that's 5 horsepower less. So there you go. I think that one, if none of the others managed anything, kind of shows us. Let's actually get back down where we've got some hill here. Make sure we didn't end up just on the level, you know. Because that'll make a big difference. That's the tiniest bit of hill when you're this close to the rated horsepower is certainly going to make a difference. Yeah. Now, you know what this means. At least until the, I have this thing, no problem. At least until this particular mod comes out of beta, I am going to have to switch the gear over that we currently have on Drillstar for stock in-game equipment. Yeah. It wasn't a matter of just where the hill was or wasn't. That's just simply it. So there you go. Well, I'm really, really, really thankful, bud, for putting that comment in there. As I said, I had, of course, read the mod, you know, before I installed it to make sure I didn't have to press certain keys to make things work and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, without the distinction in MR and non-MR, it was a little difficult, at least to the point where I couldn't say for sure without testing. So now the testing's done, and like I said, you're absolutely right. There is such a huge difference between what's going on between these two types of vehicles, the in-game and the not. Whether they were, as I said, you know, that is not a beta tractor. That was from the full hub. So, oh yeah. Okay. You gonna let me pull it up here? Come on, baby. Ooh, barely. There we go. Stop, stop. Just about jackknifed it there. Actually, I suppose did. Oops. Just want to quickly do a little loop here just to try something out. Now that we're that much weight heavier, how much is it going to slow down to get up here? We'll stay in the same tracks. And I believe we went from pretty much a dead stop. Yeah. Definitely a huge difference there. So, there you go, guys. That's my little experiment with the MR mod. Now I know. So, next episode, when we are back on 3-Star Farm, we will not have the 2 tractors I'm currently using. I will go back to whatever the suggested in-games were. Yeah. I do believe both of the seeders I upgraded are in-game seeders, etc. So we should be good on that point. But there you go, guys. I hope that helped. And for those of you anxious to run the MR mod, there you are. Now you know, at least for now, you need to be using the stock in-game equipment. At least until the MR mod, as I said, is perhaps either adapted, adopted, or set in stone that that's just the way it's going to be. Then, of course, that'll just be the way it's going to be. Alright, hope you enjoyed, guys. I enjoyed making the video for you. Please hit the like button. Remember to subscribe, share, and do all of those YouTube-y things if you have not yet. And until next time, this has been Species 7 for Farm Sim 17. I don't know. Take care of each other, folks. And ciao for now.